Shakur Stevenson calls out Lomachenko for ducking the fade. Let's talk about it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Now apparently he had an interview with Fight Hype, which I'm pretty sure he recorded before he posted this tweet, and basically alluded that they was kind of like the fight might happen, and he didn't want to say too much when Lomachenko wasn't signed. And then he tweeted, I think he might have tweeted before the interview went up, I'm not sure. And he tweeted that, you know, Lomachenko's scary like everybody else. He'd rather retire than fight me. And in an interview, he was saying that if he was willing to run it back with Devin Haney, then, you know, why wouldn't he want to fight me and all this stuff? And I thought he beat Devin Haney, and I thought, I thought he was past his prime, but apparently he still got it and stuff of that nature. And, you know, I'm going to talk about something that Toomba and Town Business talked about. Toomba brought this up in the Discord. I don't know if you heard Town say it, but Town was talking about how Jamal Charlo always got so much energy for the non-black fighters, for the black fighters, but never got the energy for the other. I'm going to talk about that because a lot of people, Toomba brought that up about Shakur Stevenson today, where he had a lot of energy. You know, he calling Devin Haney all types of B's and A's, and maybe it's a cultural thing in which, you know, him and Devin Haney could talk to each other about that. But then again, he was so graceful in letting Lomachenko slide out the side door last time and say, well, I'm trying to fight Devin Haney. I ain't think about you. And, oh, okay, champ, if you going to get that fight, come holler at me. And then, you know, kind of just like call him a Doug when Devin Haney, he was more belligerent and more aggressive. And I just think, like I told y'all before, to give y'all a preview, we just programmed to be more aggressive towards each other. I don't think it's a cultural thing. I just think it's programmed for us to be more aggressive and have more disdain against each other, but that's a totally different story for another day. So, like I said before, I figured that Lomachenko wasn't going to fight him. I think if he's really talking about retiring, I mean, you can't get mad at a man for retiring. If he said he had enough, he had enough. The man got like 400-something amateur fights. A handful of fights in the World Series of Boxing, maybe a couple over there, and then he got about 20 professional fights. And the way they gargle him down, they gonna put him in the Hall of Fame, even though he shouldn't be a Hall of Famer. I can make a case that Earl Smith shouldn't be a Hall of Famer. And you can make a case that Lomachenko shouldn't be a Hall of Famer. But you know what? That's another topic for another day. And some people fight me on that. Didn't say they wasn't Hall of Famers. Said you can make a case they shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. That's all I'm saying. But nonetheless, I figured that, Lomachenko will get a belt, then Shakur get a belt, and they unify. They both get 2 belts in the division, and then they try to unify the division. Don't know if Lomachenko got time for all of that. That could be 2, 3, 4 years. Shakur said he feel comfortable at the weight, and he gonna be there for a while. So he got time. Time ain't on Lomachenko's side. We seen before how they got vacant belts and let Lomachenko fight, or they got belts and let Lomachenko fight for a vacant belt. So, like I said before, it seemed like in the interview he did with Fight Hype that he was, it sounded like that was gonna happen. The word has been, that he was gonna fight Jermaine Ortiz, but Loma number 1, he number 2 for the WBC, but he the mandatory, and Loma the first guy up. So Loma could say, well, I'm going a different route, and it's like, okay. You just sit here and say you thought Loma won, you thought, he was undisputed, you did all that bull job and Devin Haney, whatever, and now you sitting there like what? That ass kissing ain't gonna get you nowhere. Just being real. Keep the same energy for Lomachenko if he don't fight your ass. And apparently, by that tweet, it don't sound like he going that direction. And some people say coming off a loss, is that fair? I mean, didn't he fight Gary Russell coming off a loss to Orlando Salido? Or am I tripping? Maybe he had a win before that. I could be wrong. But, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that'd be a good fight for this year, but If he said you rather retire and duck, maybe that was just a joke about him retiring. I don't know if it was serious or whatever, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I would love to see the fight. I would favor Shakur, but wouldn't surprise if Lomachenko had another great performance. They didn't share the ring together before and sparring before. He said the last time I think he said they sparred was for the Rigondeaux fight, and he was 19 years old. So, I mean, shit, it is what it is. You know, Shakur got the label of a boogeyman. Anytime you got that style where you hard to hit, anybody gonna be, you know, dying to get in the ring. With you, a guy that can knock motherfuckers out gonna have a better chance getting in the ring than the guy that's hard to hit. Real talk in boxing. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. But like I continue to say, man, he just gonna have to put his head down and beat who they put in front of him. Devin Haney had to go through the same process and not getting opponents. I think it's a little bit more frustrating when the guys that, you know, that you looking to fight always affiliated with the same promotional company, you can't get them. So either you got to start talking that shit or you just got to handle your business and step your game up. But they can't make dudes get in the ring and fight you. It is what it is. So you got to put who they put there. Then when you get your name up and you did all that scratching and clawing, then they going to be treating you like Floyd Mayweather. Floyd couldn't get some fights sometime, but as soon as he become Manny Mayweather, everybody wanted to sign up to fight. Devin couldn't get no fights. Now everybody calling out Devin Haney. It's just the process. That's all it is. It's part of the process. So, like I continue to say about Dog, he'll figure it out for sure. He will figure it out. No doubt. He will figure it out. Just got to keep winning, keep focused. You got to treat every opponent like it's a pound for pound supremacy type fight. That's where these dudes lose focus at. You start overlooking certain opponents. It's hard to train for certain guys. You start getting lackadaisical. You start taking your eye off the ball. Either when you're on this road to being the boogeyman, you take your eye off the ball. Start underestimating people. But then sometimes that can be good as long as you win. People say, oh, he look vulnerable. Now I want to get in the ring with you. Either Shakur going to look vulnerable or the price going to be right. It's one of the two. Either he going to look vulnerable or the price, his stock going to go up where the money going to be good enough to get in the ring with him. He going to be the money man. You know, and that's just what it is. That's the hand he dealt. Matisse, man, he was in the same position. Couldn't get a fight. Made some bad business. He should have fought Lamont Peterson at 140 instead of trying to stay Danny Garcia mandatory. And Danny Garcia fucked himself too. Because had Lamont Peterson, Matisse, he promised Matisse or signed to fight Matisse, he would be undisputed. Him and Matisse wouldn't have fought at 141. But, you know, lack of communication, lack of commitment. So Shakur just got to keep winning. You know, but of course they're not going to have the same smoke for Lomachenko. They're not. Guys like him and Manny Pacquiao always get a pass. They always got excuses for when they lose. All types of shit. It was the shoulder versus Lomachenko versus Tio. Vasyl, it was the weight and the low blows. We know how the game go. We know how the game go. But, you know, I would like to see him have that same ferocity and that same intensity he had towards Devin Haney. But like I told y'all before, that's embedded into the black Americans' DNA to hate each other or to be more aggressive towards each other than the other. Because when you see things like that, I remember there was a white guy in Detroit in the gas station. I forget the story. And the dude ended up, you know, deleting him. The white guy, he was in the hood. I think he made a mistake and hit his car at the gas station or whatever. And I used to work over in that neighborhood. Used to go to school over there, dangerous neighborhood. At night, he was apologizing. He deleted him. Man, I think less than like 24 hours, 48 hours, they found that black man. They found him. It was quick. So they set that precedent, and them people that was brawling up in Montgomery on the boat, watch how that roll. Watch how that go. I lived down there in Montgomery, Alabama for a while. Watch how that go. Watch exactly how that go. Either people gonna get some slaps on the wrist, everybody gonna get a slap on the wrist, or it's gonna be a lot of inconsistency and and who going to jail and who getting hard time or who gonna get steep penalty or not. But in the judicial system, it's all about that cash. It's all about who you know, or it's all about the cash. So you get the right lawyer to have the right connection with the right motherfucking judges. That's what it boiled down to. It's all a cash for who you know. And they swap out people, and I say this all the time. They swap out people all the time in the system. You know, but I ain't gonna get into that. But Lomachenko, Shakur, Stevenson would be a hell of a cherry on top of this year, for sure. You get Devin and Regis. You get Charlo and Canelo. Andrade and Benavidez might be on deck. I mean, it's been a strong year. Tank and Ryan, Better BF and Yard, Crawford and Spence. I mean, you might get Crawford and Spence too before the year's up. All I'm concerned about is the football starting back, getting these parlays together. Hop back on this Madden and shit. I ain't played Madden for real in like a couple years. It's cross-gen now, so I can talk my shit to my homies on PS5 and shit. So, but yeah, I'll be streaming on Kick and on Twitch for sure. I don't know if I stream on YouTube, but Kick and Twitch, see if I can reach the top 100. Might do some league play or whatever. But hey, check out the Box News playlist. Thumbs up the video. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button. It's the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance. Get notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially, you want to support the channel. Cash App, $ CJ Good 313. Venmo CJ Good 313. PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole 9. Appreciate the love and support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Peace.